So the whole point of why we wanted to talk with you is to figure out exactly where you're at in your journey into getting into the business, because clearly it does take a long time. Like, I mean, you've even noticed like 6 to 9 months is a long time, but it's because you're thinking about making a big investment. So we wanted to build the Discovery Playbook to help people get into the business, because a lot of people don't know the questions that they need to ask. And I work with restroom trailer owners across the US. All of them, I've learned, get just worried about getting the trailer immediately, then figuring out everything after that. And that costs them thousands of dollars because they got the trailer and they're like, okay, what's next? And it's like, yes, they should have done so many other things beforehand. And the second we started working with them, whether it's the website stuff, the ads, the social media, then leads started coming in, then they're buying other trailers and they're growing. So the whole point of the Discovery Playbook is to help you figure out what you need to be researching and looking up, and then obviously doing the deep dive like this. And then once you're ready to make the trailer purchase, you get the trailer and you immediately start off on the right foot, instead of being in the red, immediately. There's different niches within this business, right? So you have the higher end rentals, like what Sadie does. You have there's businesses that really focus on the long-term rentals. That's a whole different beast. And then I kind of go a little differently. Like, I'm on the volume, like I want to do as many events as I can. So like the price point, it obviously matters, but I'm not trying to charge $1,200. Like in our area, I'm in Fresno, California. It's like $700 to $750. We have a bunch of restroom trailer businesses in our area. So I think that's a big reason why our price point is so low. And so I've kind of went the volume route, like trying to get as many events done as possible. So there's a bunch of different routes that you can take. It's just good knowing where you want to start at the beginning, because I spoke to a gentleman. He had 6 trailers and he was doing about 80 events, I think, in a year, which is good, but I think he could be doing more. The problem was that he approached me and said, Adam, how can I do more long-term rentals? How do I do that? And I said, well, you kind of have to do it's a whole different process to try to do a lot more long-term rentals. Like, it turns from business to B2C, business to consumer, to business to business. So you have to be doing a lot more outbound stuff. You can't just run the same Google ads that you're running for your weddings and parties and your usual business model. You have to take a different approach. You have to start calling a lot of construction companies, calling a lot of franchisees, any type of business that you would think could possibly rent them long-term. It's a whole different beast. So, and for that specific gentleman, it's kind of hard because we have to basically start from the ground up and start a whole, like, your website needs to be redone, your social media needs to be redone, what you're even doing needs to be redone, your thinking needs to be redone. And so it's hard when you didn't start with that mindset. So like it's good that you're even considering the affluent market, because you already know where you want to start. Besides also finding your competitors in your area with that spreadsheet and listing their Google, their reviews, their names, etc. The nice thing is that once you start getting quotes from them and you see what they're charging, you see what their business looks like, their website, their social media, etc. That can give you a leg up on what to charge. And then at the end of the Discovery Playbook, you see the spreadsheet for year 1, year 2. You had kind of like looked at that, correct? So then once you're able to figure out the price point you want, because you've seen what the competitors are charging, that will allow you to start looking at a rough estimate on numbers for year 1, year 3, year 5. So it's good that you're going to be establishing the market you want to target. And then that spreadsheet at the very end can tell you exactly what to expect with all the expenses and whatnot. The whole point of the Discovery Playbook is so that way, you're learning about the business. You're not sure exactly everything that you should know before getting the trailer, because that is a big investment. We've learned that a lot of people think first, I just want the trailer. Then they get the trailer, then it sits, then they're losing a lot of money. It takes months for them to even start getting 1 booking, 2 bookings, whatever. And so we decided to put together the Discovery Playbook to try to alleviate that issue. But I've heard it from a reputable DJ. He said there's about 300 to 400 weddings alone that go on every Saturday in our area. And we only barely hit like 1 million population with like our metro city and like a little city, all the little cities around it. So like your area, the amount of people, it's way more than ours. So saturation is absolutely not going to be a problem. The biggest thing is making sure as many people in your area know about your business. So it's the whole point of what we put in the Discovery Playbook of listing the competitors in your area is so that way you can see who they are and what they're doing and figure out how you can do it better. And so that's why we put in the little cell to put in the Google Star reviews, put in their Facebook, Instagram, their website, like those type of little things. So that way you can keep track of it. So that way when you're ready to make the jump into the restroom trailer business, you know what they look like. And so that way you know what you can do better. So in terms of saturation, I want to just tell you right now, like, don't even worry about them. There is plenty of business to go around. So the price was a thing for me, but also I love the design of the Optimus Industries trailer. I love the outside is kind of what I'm a guy. I focus more on the outside. I didn't really focus on the inside because a lot of different manufacturers do all their insides a lot differently. And so the big thing for me was it was the price and who I was working with directly, because with Andy, it was an amazing experience from day one, and still to this day has been awesome. Anytime I call, he answers the phone immediately, gives me, if I say, hey, this lock broke, or the lever on the toilet broke, or the door handle broke, whatever it is, sends me a link to the product immediately, and I can buy it myself. That's something to take into consideration. Like, if you're gonna call these manufacturers, ask them, like, how easy is it for me to fix these things myself? It's like, if I text you or call you or email you, can I get a response pretty quickly with the link to the website for me to order? Like the quality of communication and the quality of service is something to really take into account, along with the price point of the trailer. That's kind of how I ended up going in with the Optimus Industries, and I still work with them. I love those trailers. The one thing I wanted to kind of add on in terms of the quality of service that you would get is I really want you to try to avoid buying one of those $10,000 trailers, and now if it's used and you're buying it from like someone who previously owned one of these reputable manufacturers, sure. But I talk to a lot of people who they tell me like, oh, well, I saw this one on Alibaba for $10,000, and I'm like, you do not want to buy that, because there's no customer service with that, because if something breaks, who are you calling? This is a great topic. So besides the obvious of like, yeah, we rent a spot out from this storage place, or we put it in our driveway. One of the things that doesn't get talked about a lot is, let's say you don't have any space in your driveway or in front of your house, and you have to go store it somewhere else. One of the things to really look into is, when can you pick up the trailer and when can you deliver it? Because there are places that close after 7 p.m. So when you're researching where you're gonna store the trailer, whether it's $50 a month or $100 a month, take into consideration when you can deliver the trailer and when you can pick it up. That's super key. And then the other thing too is security, because there are some places that are open, like there's not even any gates. So asking the storage place if they give each of their members a key to get in, because sometimes it may be locked, so key to open it up, or if it is going to be open, how accessible is it to the public? Also too, how far are you actually going to have to drive? Because 35 minutes sounds like not a whole lot, but when you have 3 trailers and you're renting them out constantly like she is, it's a pain. You get tired of it immediately. So trying to find a place that's as close as you as possible is super key, because even 20 plus minutes, you get tired. Because think about it too, your events are all over the place. They're not always where your house is. So like, you may have to drive this way to go pick up your trailer to deliver it over here, but then you have to go all the way back over here, right?